All right, people. I just went on a rant in a couple of my videos, and I do apologize for expressing myself and cursing, but shit, you gotta get out because life is hard. And there's all these shitty people out there and shitty things that happen to you, and it could all be explained. But anyway, today I got this Pantro figure from the Mighty Thundercats. Visual aid, people. Represents goodness. One of my favorite characters. But anyway, to the point, I'm going to talk about something positive for once. Uh, I went to the movies to watch Doctor Strange, the Marvel Comics movie. And I gotta say right off the bat that Marvel movies are way better than DC movies. Because from DC Comics, you don't really get like a good lesson. It's just mindless action for the most part. Maybe the first Superman was okay. They humanized Superman a little, but for the most part it was just nonsense fighting. I mean, yeah, it's a movie, science fiction, but at least with Marvel movies, there's a plot that deals with life, you know, that you can relate to. And that's what I want to talk about because I was making videos earlier about how shitty people are everywhere, and I do think that they're put there for every good people, for every good person on the planet. There's probably like hundreds or millions or thousands, who knows, of shitty people around you. Uh, it's no joke. I mean, the Bible says it clearly, where majority are gonna be destroyed, and only a few will be left. You know, but you could tell right away. It's so obvious. Like you get these people at work that provoke you in such a way that you just want to kill them right there, right on the spot. And they don't have a fucking clue. They're a whole bunch of kiss assers, kiss assers. They kiss ass. That's all they do. Kiss ass and talk shit. They don't confront you. They just talk shit behind your back. Kiss ass, and they want to look hip or cool, or so fucking fake. Fucking phonies. But anyway, this is why I like this movie, Doctor Strange, because it deals with the other side of things. The whole good versus evil. I like this movie because Doctor Strange, he was cocky in the movie at first, but then something drastic happened to him. He had an accident, a really bad accident, and his whole perspective on life like really changed. Like, and that happened to me. But I like this movie because I could relate to death. Like I almost died of diabetes, but I've been dying since I was like very little from asthma and chronic bronchitis. But diabetes really almost killed me in 2010. And it's true, when even when my sugar goes down, I start to think about what's really important and what is bullshit. And that's when, that when you're dying, that's when you're really thinking the correct way. That this world is not real. It's just an illusion. And that's why I like these movies like The Matrix and this movie. It exposes that even the Bible says it, like this life is not the real life. The real life, you start being a real person when you're alive in the eyes of God, in the eyes of Jehovah. That's when you become a real person because you're doing His will. And God is eternal. Okay, so everybody that is doing their own thing, even me, we're not necessarily alive. We're just an illusion. We're like dust in the wind that's like a tumbleweed, you know, blowing across the desert. But we don't really exist to him because he knows he's not gonna keep us alive forever. Why? Because we don't deserve it. See, when he created humanity, created humanity perfect, and we messed up, and so now we gotta earn life by doing following all his rules to the letter. And so I like this movie because Doctor Strange in the movie had an accident, and it dealt with reality. You know that your life changes drastically. Even if nothing happens to you, you are gonna lose someone at one point of your life, and it deals with death as being part of reality. And I was like, wow, this movie is getting deep because it's like it was probably the first Marvel movie that really dealt with the notion of death as reality and good versus evil. It shows kind of like these students that they were all corrupted and seduced to in a lie, where evil, like the evil guy, makes it seem like he's the ultimate good guy because everything's gonna be good in that world, but in reality, it's torment. You know, like there's some plot twists, and it deals with alternate worlds, alternate reality. Basically the spirit world. That's what I would, refer to. So it shows you like he gets better, he heals his hands by becoming more spiritual, enlightened, you know, and he's trying to use logic and intellect, but it's not really working, you know? And so it's not until he becomes spiritually aware of what's going on. In the end, like he goes through a change and he just changes for the best. And he in the whole movie, like you could see that he's having a hard time because, like us, a lot of us don't believe in the spiritual world, and we don't believe in God or the devil or anything because we're so locked in this prison that we don't even have time to think about those things, because we're all in our stupid little world that's insignificant and it's gonna go away one day. Even if it's not directly by God or some kind of revelation, we're all gonna die from different reasons. So in the movie, he struggles because he cannot explain how this magic uh, is real. And the guru, the master lady, tells him, well, that's the problem. You can't explain it. Stop trying to explain something you can't explain. And it's true because life, as we know, is you can't really explain it. You can't. You can say whatever the hell you want, but there is no explanation for life. There just isn't. And how everything's so perfect for life to exist, and how we're made perfectly, and how we're rational and we could think. And in the movie, another thing I like is when it says that we have to overcome our demons and not let them control us, like rise above. And he's like, well, they never go away. And it's true. In real life, they never go away. But you gotta bury them as deep as you can because if not, you start doing stupid things. So basically, you gotta be at your best, and you gotta realize that there is a spirit world. You're being observed by both, the good guys and the evil guys. And both guys, there is a war, a spiritual war that's fighting for you. It's like right now, Hillary and Trump are fighting for your vote, which is meaningless anyway. And none those two like are being controlled anyway in the end. But in the grand scheme of things, Satan and Jehovah are fighting for you. And that's what I got from this movie. You're being evaluated to see if you're worthy for life. All of us. If you keep on living or if this is going to be it for you. And for the most part, sadly, even me as I make this video, like I have to improve in a lot of things, and sometimes I just forget or I don't think about it or I don't want to think about it, but it's not until you're in that corner or when you're really dying, really down, when you're at your worst, especially if you're dying, that's when you remember God. And so we gotta start thinking about returning to God before it's that late in the game, you know? Because he deserves better. Like, a lot of people blame God for their problems. And I used to be one of those people. Like, I had shitty luck in my life. Really shitty, unbelievable shitty luck, especially in love. And it got to the point that, I blame God for my faults, for my weaknesses, for everything bad happening to me. Even though I know about the story of Job, which if you don't, you gotta read the Bible. I'm not gonna tell you, but just you gotta know who Job is. If you don't, I feel sorry for you. And you know, luckily, like, well, I don't think it was luck, but God made me see the error of my thinking. And when I was about to die, and I had an accident also, which could have been worse. I and I think God helped me to get out of that hole. And I'm like, why didn't I die or something? A lot of times, not just once. Which I'm gonna make a video on that about death. And there is there is goodness that takes care of you, but you gotta accept it, and you gotta stop messing around. And by you, I mean me too. And hopefully, I'll start. I'm gonna have to really. The problem with me is I procrastinate too much. I really do. But I really gotta start doing the right thing. So this is what that movie showed me. And God, He's so great that He shows you what you're lacking, and He's like, "This is what you gotta be working on." Even if you're not in the church, I got the message. You know what I'm saying? Through a Marvel movie, which good is good and evil is evil, and they're both trying to get to you one way or another. But the evil is doing really good right now, so you gotta be a real good trained soldier, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, people, take care. Bye bye.